All right, there's been a lot of brewing, I've seen a lot of constructed streams in the past 2 weeks, even before Lasgar's Vengeance was officially banned from standard constructed. And one of those players doing lots of brewing is a caster from last week, doing an excellent job on last week's HEX Bash. That is JeffHoogland. Let's see what he's playing today.
I bet it draws cards.
I hear he likes drawing cards. I hear many people like drawing cards. Do you like drawing cards, Neo?
I do. It's my favorite text. Oh, interesting. So we've got a Tri-Shard Diamond Sapphire Wild here. We see the Diamond Sapphire in hand, but we see that Pippa Hustler sneaking in there too with a couple of Wild Shards sprinkled throughout that deck. That's interesting. We see Intrepid Conjurer, Moonrise Elder, so it looks like a variant on the old Wild Diamond Valor Generation deck, but with some extra Sapphire for good measure. Interesting.
On the other side, JeffHoogland is facing DeathRealm, sleeving up Bloodspinner Zorath, Mono Blood. And he's got Zentos Malice, a great combo with Bloodspinner Zorath, Dreadling Sacrifice, draw cards, a Vampire Prince, and a Exarch of the Egg. With a Blood's Favor.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what Jeff's deck does. We do know what the Dreadling deck wants to do. It wants to get that banner out and start drawing cards with Malice and hit down with Vampires, put some Spiders in the deck, and do that kind of stuff. And I guess this card down below actually does want to draw cards. It just wants to do it by playing Valors instead.
There currently isn't a way to get Valor out until Moonrise Elder. But Intrepid Conjurer, 2-1, when it becomes Valorous, summons an Intrepid Conjurer, which means the summoned one will have the one-shot again.
Very nice draw for Jeff here. The Hero of Legend will create a Valor every time an Ardent Troop hits the face of the opponent. And it's actually pretty unlikely that the opponent wants to trade this Prince. So there we see the first Valor being created there.
Valor is a 1/1 +1/+1, and Valorous, an unloaded keyword, for 1.
We do see the Hero of Legend meeting its maker there, but the first Valor has already been made, so that means the Intrepid Conjurer here can spawn another Intrepid Conjurer every time a Valor is played on one. It creates a new one, and the one-shot is used, but the new one keeps that one-shot, has a new one-shot, if you will. And so every time a Valor goes down, that's going to add another one of those to the board. We see another Prince here. We see that Blood Shard come down. And, yeah, probably Transmogrifade. No Transmogrifade, wow.
Those Vampire Princes, when they damage an opponent, bury the top card of your opponent's deck. If it is a resource, it transforms into a Bloodstone and goes into your hand. And Bloodstones, when played, are blood shards, but they do a damage and gain you a health for each vampire.
Didn't realize what the socket was there, but this is the reason we didn't see the Transmogrifade. Moonrise Elder has Swift Strike and Flight, which means that without removal, that Vampire Prince is dealt with just by playing the Moonrise Elder.
Blood's Favor for 3 cost has 3 different modes. The mode chosen is to draw 2 cards and pay 2 health.
See that combo coming online there, the Malice and the Banner. Opting to not remove the Elder here to get that combo online as early as possible. We see the first Valor come in here on the Elder. And there's some more Valor generation in hand there too. Pippa Hustler can potentially remove the Malice or the Banner as a threat. Hopefully he goes for the Banner. He does go for the Banner. And that's going to give Ashwood Maestro to the board, which means that 3 extra resources for each player each turn. Oh, it's 2.
Strangle's
isn't it? It's
picked up 2 extra resources. Hero Fall targets Pippa Hustler. There seem to be only 2 in the deck. Right now, at least. We're just seeing a whole lot of resource fixing. We've seen the Coyote Allegiance resource. We've seen the Human Allegiance resource in this Tri-Shard deck. All sorts of good stuff here.
Oh, it's an egg. The first of many. That is gonna probably become draw. We'll see. You see the Valor come in. The swing with the two Conjurers there. One of them's met with the Exarch of the Egg. And we'll probably see Howling Plains come down.
These Intrepid Conjurers are just continually creating themselves as long as JeffHoogland can keep making Valor and put them into hand.
Yeah, this deck is cool. It's a lot of card advantage. Either through generating Valors, creating Conjurers, or I suppose drawing cards. I would be surprised if there isn't some way to draw cards in there we haven't seen yet.
Moonrise Elder, Rockcast in response to reduce the number of Valors created. I mean, that's not going to stop this silly Intrepid Conjurer chain. The question is how many? Maybe only one, holding for Transmogrifate and Ardent Crusader. I mean, this Ashwood Maestro has been helping both players, but giving extra room for super Valor shenanigans. A Valor, in fact, on Moonrise Elder, keeping it above Strangle range. Strangle gives -4/-4. And for the third time this game, Blood's favor, but this time voiding the opponent's crypt and gaining 2 health for each troop voided.
It's not bad, but I think these Conjurers are too much. There are so many Conjurers right now.
And they're just well positioned for the board at DeathRealm.
Sorry. The draw there was a draw that was pretty on point here. We see the Hero of Legend come down, and that, again, as we say, every time an Ardent Troop hits face, there is a Valor to hand, and that means 3 Valors here in the hand, and that means 3 more Conjurers for Jeff. Okay, 2 more Conjurers. Putting the hero out of Strangle range first was the choice there.
So in later games in this match, what do you think the chances that Intrepid Conjurer is seen as a threat?
I mean, it's definitely a threat right here. It has been avoided up until this point because I suppose the other troops seem like more of a threat at the time, but that lack of foresight has definitely hurt DeathRealm here.
Culmination of Blood discards JeffHoogland's hand, including 2 Valors, but that doesn't quite deal with the board as here, and Hero of Legends will ensure another 4 Valor is created, and Intrepid Conjurer is still there. DeathRealm is down to 3 health with nothing but a couple of Zentos Malice. They're not quite useful in duplicates. And holding up 1 resource. Why not pretend you've got a Transmogrifate or something? And JeffHoogland winning game 1 of this match.
Yeah, I do wonder if the Roost Bard is in there. It would seem maybe it's in there as a 1 or 2 of, just because, you know, he's trying to run those Crusaders as well. But it would be weird if the Roost Bard isn't in there, but maybe he just decided that it was unnecessary.
We're going to load game 2 of this match with a Diamond Sapphire Wild Brew, Valor Value versus Mono Blood DeathRealm, Bloodspinner Zorath.
Yeah, I'm also wondering if there's any other reason for the Sapphire other than just to put in, you know, the Sapphire control there.
Well, there's one reason.
Oh, interesting. Okay. That's an Auspex, right? Auspex of Lanapor. Every time you play an action, your troops in all zones get +1/+1, which is, you know, it's probably not a card that comes down on 4, but if you have the Valor to back it up, you know, even if you play one action after it's down, that's +1/+1 to every troop that you own, which is in deck, in hand, and on the board, and in the crypt too. Even though that's probably not relevant in this game, but yeah, if it sticks to the board for more than a turn, and you play more than one action, that's pretty big stuff.
As a resource base in the Dreaming Fox deck, ices, Legion shards, enough troops to allow those Legion shards. Ices with Fate Weave to get more resources so that you can get your fixing. All sorts of good stuff.
I imagine there probably aren't too many of the Auspex in there. You know, that there are probably a fair few utility pickups in Coyotl there, just to meet the demands of the Crusader and of the Coyotl Shard as well.
I think it's just something you play later, especially when you've got 2, 3, or more Valor in hand. It's only a 2 cost, so value pumps with Intrepid Conjurer.
Nice Gemborn Prowler pickup there. That's going to be able to take out that Crusader for free. Not for free for 2 resources, but for free as in the Phantoms won't come out to the board, which is fairly important. We see a Reserves Blinding Eye here, which is quite a good pickup against a mono blood deck.
For free also can mean not using up a card. Gemborn Prowler just has to be revealed and picks up its sockets.
Bride of the Damned, Waltz of the Damned coming out together.
Damned good draw.
Double Ire now, and we see that Auspex Valor combo coming down. The Strangle is there. Interesting. So we saw the Auspex come down. It's met with Strangle, and we see the Ire here instead of the Valor, which is kind of interesting to me. Aya coming in here, likely going to take out that other Exarch as well, so interesting. The Bride of the Damned, Waltz of the Damned combo is really scary.
But DeathRealm is short 2 resources for that. Needs to draw a few more cards, or Vampire Prince them out. In the meantime, Gemborn Prowler can get in there for a little bit of damage, and the Exarch the second Exarch is now ready to try to block that Howling Plains Alpha. Howling Plains Alpha is +1/+1 if he's Valorous while attacking. Another Gemborn Prowler revealing and taking out Ardent Crusader. Vampire Prince seen as the bigger threat. Or takes it out of the air to be blocked by Howling Plains Alpha with Transmogrifade. Here's Auspex. When you play an action, your troops get +1/+1. I think earlier, JeffHoogland learned that it does not work off of constants like Binding Ire. But DeathRealm picks up that resource. 7th resource makes Auspex -1/-1, making it not bigger than both these Gemborn Prowlers. They get in. Dreaming Fox takes 6, goes down to 10 health. But these Valors are being created. Howling Plains Alpha creating on every troop in all your zones get +1/+1. So even cards in hand.
I wonder here if the Auspex is a reserves card to maybe counteract the Bride of the Damned there, because it's hard to -1/-1 things if they're getting a bunch of +1/+1s every time.
JeffHoogland just picked up a Moonrise Elder. That means 4 actions. That means Auspex is massively buffing all the cards in the deck. Do we see Waltz of the Damned here? It clears the board.
Yeah, apparently.
No Waltz of the Damned. Waltz of the Damned, 7 cost blood, gives you all, takes control of all troops and then destroys them. So they all end up in your crypt. Bloodspinner's Wrath down to 16. Dreaming Fox creating the biggest Moonrise Elder. Attacks with everything. Everything must block. Bride of the Damned is lethal. Whatever she blocks, she'll get.
Interesting stuff. So we have a... Almost certainly the Waltz gets played here, right? We see the swing for 4. Waltz of the Damned. That basically resets things. Both players on 4. One major difference, though, and that's the Massacre remains in DeathRealm's hand there. Although, having said that, the Auspex has triggered enough times that Massacre is almost a dead card right now.
Funny enough that the Waltz and Auspex on DeathRealm's hand, on DeathRealm's side, did buff every troop in DeathRealm's deck by 1. Spiderlings, however, stay 1/1. Oh, it's just a casual 10/10 Ardent Crusade. Spiderling has to be held up to block this. No third Gemborn Prowler yet to take out this Ardent Crusader.
Culmination, there's the Transmog. The Polyberry. Polyberry doesn't revert, so that's not much help. We have an 8/10 Cyclone Shaman that's been massacred down to a 5/7 instead. Not quite a massacre, honestly. More just a tickling of the back of the neck there for the Cyclone Shaman. Yeah, nice. I like it. I like that that deck Jeff is running there. I like all of the things that are going on there. You got the utility from the Hustlers, the deck-wide buffing from the Auspex is really good with those Valors too. But again, we didn't see Sator's Roost, so maybe it's just not there. I find it hard to believe that Jeff would pass up the option to draw a card every time he plays a Valor. But we just didn't see it.